Like by day, Adeoye, yes. Okay, so you can do us a favor. Please share the same link to all your contacts right away to also join us in this wonderful event, glorious event, the book launch. Please do me a favor, share right away the link to your platforms as well, so they can also join us in this very glorious occasion of launching 2 new books written by the chairman and founder of GTEX Holdings and Stephen Akintayo Foundation, in the person of Dr. Stephen Akintayo. All right, so we'll not take much of your time. We will go straight into the event. So, Mr. Jamiu, can you please give us a screenshot of the books? Okay, let's see what the books look like. And then from there, we'll take it from there. So, Mr. Jamiu, let's have a screenshot of the books so that our audience can see how the books look like. Yeah, so while we get the screenshot on of what the books look like, it's also important that we talk about why, okay, fine. It's already on coming now. Thank you. Yeah, you can see there, the ABC of America's real estate investment is the first book. Okay, so this book talks a lot about how you can invest in America. What are the requirements? You want to go into an investment in America. What are the processes involved in investing in America? What are the various or different types of investments that can go into in America? What are the financing options available for you to invest in real estate in America? That's what this book is all about. Okay. And the second book, Mr. Jamio, second book. Yeah, it's the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook. It gives you a full view of how you can invest globally, not just only in Nigeria or in your various locations. You can extend your investment across the globe. So what are the requirements for investing across the globe? What are the different kinds of investment you can get across the globe? What are the financial options you have, the financing options you have to invest across the globe? What are the requirements that you need to fulfill as an individual, as a company, as a real estate developer, as a real estate realtor, if you want to invest in various locations across the globe? This book is an handbook. It gives you practical guide, gives you also a workbook to test your knowledge and understanding of global real estate investment. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I will wait for the host and the author of the books to give you further insights on these 2 new books. All right, so once again, I want to say a big thank you for joining in on this live virtual book launch. So right away, without taking further time, we're going to introduce the guest, not the host, and then the author of the 2 books, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Before then, let's get to understand and know who Dr. Stephen Akintayo is. So Jamil, please let's go straight to play Dr. Stephen Akintayo's bio and profile. So very soon you'll be watching the profile of the author of the 2 books, as well as the profile of the chairman of GTEX Holdings and the Stephen Akintayo Foundation. So Jamie, let's go there now. Let's get the profile playing. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Jamil, are you still with me? Okay, so while we wait for the profile of our host to play on the screen, okay, fine, it's coming up. It's coming up, that's it, yeah. Good.
Is Africa's most influential investment coach. He is a member of the Forbes Business Council and a recipient of several prestigious awards, including the Forbes Best of Africa, Leading Investment Coach and Real Estate Mogul by Forbes Best of Africa Award. He is the chairman of G-Text Holdings and the founder of Stephen Akintayo Foundation. G-Text Holdings is the mother company of 11 subsidiaries with a highly innovative and young workforce. These subsidiaries include G-Text Homes, G-Text Land, Stephen Akintayo Foundation, G-Vest, G-Text Farms, G-Text and Associates, G-Text Academy, G-Text Soft, G-Text Hub. G-Text Holdings has several branches in Nigeria, which include Lagos State, Ibadan, Abeokuta, Asaba, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Other offices are in Dubai, the UK, and the US, and the company plans to extend operations to other African countries like Ghana, Rwanda, and Uganda. Dr. Akintayo Real Estate Firm has a plan to build 25,000 green and smart homes with golf courses, polo clubs, mall, hotel, hospitals, schools, and universities across Africa by the year 2035, and control another set of 25,000 properties outside of Africa, with a total real estate asset worth $40 billion by the year 2035. Dr. Stephen Akintayo is also the host of the Global Property Brokers Conference, the largest brokers conference in Africa. Now renamed the Global Wealth Festival, several renowned speakers like Grant Cardone, Ryan Serhant, Dr. John Maxwell, and others have been brought on the platform. Dr. Akintayo has hosted some of the world's most renowned speakers on his platforms like Robert Kiyosaki, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Dan Locke, Toby and Tomi Arayomi, Toby Adegboyega, and several others. He is the host of the Investment Chat in a Rolls-Royce, which teaches people about different investment opportunities around the globe. Learning Luxury Show, a show that educates on the benefits of owning luxury and monetizing it, and Big Talk Show, aimed at enlightening youths and the general public on election-related issues in order to build the new Nigeria. He is also the host of the Billionaire Habits podcast, Burj Khalifa series in Dubai. You can watch them on the Billionaire Habits podcast. Dr. Stephen is also the author of 42 books. His latest are The Billionaire Habits for Pastors, Billionaire Habits for Entrepreneurs, and Becoming a Billionaire Land Banker. All his books can be found in Dr. Stephen's books. To book him for speaking engagements, email eg@stephenakintayo.com and contact the number on your screen for more inquiries.
All right, thank you very much for that. So please, let's, with a virtual clap, welcome the host of the program and the author of the 2 new books we are launching today, the chairman of G-Text Holdings, founder of Stephen Akintayo Foundation, in no other person other than Dr. Stephen Akintayo. You are welcome on board, sir.
Thank you for coordinating this so far. I want to welcome every one of you who is here. Thank you so much for joining. It's so much, you won't be here if this doesn't mean so much to you. We didn't do too much publicity for this event, and that's how you know those who really care and it's in their hearts, and that this means a lot to them. Mr. Barry, I'm still waiting for my slide. So while we're waiting at that, I want to ask, how many of you have read any of my books before? Okay, I don't want to assume. Assumption is the mother of frustration. If you have read any of my books before, please kindly drop in the chat book the name of the book you read. Okay, I just want to say, if you've read any of my books before, the name of the book you read. Mr. Barry, I asked them to update and put the flyer for the physical launch of the book in Lagos, Abuja, and in the US. Okay, and I expected to have that in the updated version. The one I have doesn't have those flyers, and I made it clear in the group.
All right, sir. I'll work on that right away.
So let me see, billionaire habits. Halfway of a billionaire have habit. Okay, so you don't finish reading it, you're halfway. Okay, so strangely, most people is the billionaire habits that they've read. I mean, okay, I'm just curious, why is the only billionaire habit that most people have read? I'm really, really surprised. I've written over 40 books, and so I'm only saying billionaire habit. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. How many of you would like to share what you learned from the book before we get into this new book? Because the feedback is important to me. I don't just believe in someone just keep doing something without, getting feedback that those who are receiving that thing you're doing enjoy it, is making a difference in their lives. I think it's important to always ask those questions and just don't assume. So I'll be glad to know how many of you would like to share. If you like to share with me the book that you read and what specifically was very important to you in the book. Anyone, just type, I'm ready, I'm ready. Let me see, so I can bring you up. If you're ready to share that, kindly just type, I'm ready, and I'll be glad to bring you up. I just want to hear from some of us before I get into today's new book. You read my book before, whether halfway or full way. Okay. And you wouldn't mind sharing what particularly you learned when you read the book. Okay. I'm not seeing anybody making a request. What's going on? I'm a bit surprised. You've read the book, but you can't share what you learned from the book. Is that it? Okay. Thank God. I was wondering what's going on. Right. I'm a very intentional person, right? And it's important to always know what exactly do people learn, right? Gasaya says land banking strategy, so that means you read the book on land banking. Do you want to share? Let's just take 2 or 3 people who want to share today. So the first person is Action Jackson. Can we celebrate him? Welcome, welcome.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. And you?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, I've got several of the books, and the interesting thing is one of the most powerful theme was creating mutually beneficial relationships with people, not just going into their life to see what you can take, but what you can give. And applying that in so many arenas, I've seen a big jump in my business. I literally calculated how much money I made from being sincerely intentional, and it's in the thousands because I've went in intentionally. And sometimes the fruits they don't come back immediately, but a year later. And I've started to map the journey of when I started that mutually beneficial relationship and how it's opened up so much. So that's definitely something I've learned, not just from reading the books, but watching yourself do what you do as well. So what's great about the books is the fact that I can see the book in you and you in the book. So there's a great level of authenticity from the content.
Wow, thank you very much. And that means a lot to me because again, there's a lot that goes into writing books mentally, emotionally, and then the team that puts it together as well. And it's always important to get feedback. I think in our part of the world, we don't like feedback, and people don't also like giving feedback, and it's important to know you can't just keep doing something over and over again and you're not asking the recipient, how exactly is this, adding value to you? What exactly is it doing to you? For me, that is a very, very critical aspect of whatever I do. So thank you for sharing. This means a lot. I have Joe. Joe, how are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Okay, so which of the book did you read and what was it for you?
Yeah, I read Billionaire Habits, and what stood out for me was the formula for success that you share, which is hard work plus smart work plus network equals success. And I saw that you emphasized the aspect of network a lot, like more like the bridging gap towards hard work or smart work. Network will put you at far much more points in life, in success, than just hard work and smart work. So, and I've also learned from several of your trainings and physical classes that to build network, the most important aspect is honor, using honor to build trust and network. So that has been what I've been applying, and I've seen considerable progress as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. This means a lot. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jessica, let's have you.
All right. Good evening, sir, and good to have
You
me
need to
here,
put
sir.
on your video. You need to put on your video.
Ah,
You can't be
okay.
sure. People are watching globally now. And then what were you thinking?
Okay, the
Yeah.
lens is not too bright. All right, so you talked about investing in knowledge, like one has to invest in knowledge rather than just
Which book actually?
billionaire habits.
Okay.
Yeah. You talk about investing in knowledge and you talk about time management instead of watching TV and taking time to do those things that does not add value. One had rather invest in knowledge and use the time very well. Then what I did while reading this book, I found out, or I decided to give it to someone that I've been collecting from, like someone that has been there for me. Like, okay, if most time, even without asking, you just say like Christmas period now, he gives and all that. So I feel okay, instead of just collecting, let me be the one to give this time. So I decided to buy this book and I gifted him as a gift because you talked about giving out sometimes, not until you have all the money before you give out. So I gave him as a gift, and it was like, oh, they've given you this from your company to come and give me. I said, no, I actually bought it for you to read. That if you know how much I bought it, so he collected it, and I've been telling him to come and buy land since he was like he's paying his mortgage. But when he read this book, he didn't take up to like 3 to 4 days. He just told me that he's ready for the land now. So I was wondering, what did you add to the book? What was that scene that you wrote there that made him, decide to take that step? So I found out you talked about passive income much later when I was reading it. And I think it's part of why he decided to take that step to buy. And he actually bought 6 plots, and I was glad he did that.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm happy to hear that. That you were able to use it in a dual way. In your case, you practice what I teach about, honor, leveraging on gifts, to honor people. So you leverage on that. But aside that as well, you then went further to also that indirectly still help the client to do more business with you. So that means a lot, and that makes a lot of sense. Once again, I want to thank all of you for coming, and thank you for sharing. Those of you who have shared my book that you read, I want to encourage you, don't just buy my book and not read it. I think it's very important to read these things. It's not, if somebody has moved from zero to where he is today and has penned down some things that has helped, it's good to read it. Don't just, no book is perfect. Sometimes you're reading books, you're seeing grammatical errors, you're seeing one or two things. But what is important is the core message you're trying to pass, the author is trying to pass across. I always say this, that when you read somebody's book, you're having what we call a mental intercourse with them. The same way, sex is in marriage is a bonding, right? So you're bonding with them mentally in terms of what makes them tick, what makes them who they are. And it's powerful to not just, buy books, but to try and read it and pick a thing or two. One thing we also try to do with all my books is to have the audio version and the video version. So some of you who might have issues having the time to read the physical paper version, call my office and ask them that, hey, I want the audio version. They can give you that. So while you're driving, you're able to just read, and that goes a long way in helping. Okay, I'd like to know how many of you can see my screen right now. If you can see my screen, tap, I can see your screen. Okay, if you can see my screen, tap, I can see your screen. Let me see. Okay. Okay, beautiful. So I can see that we can see my screen. That's good. I'm happy to know that. So these are the two books. We are doing what we call a virtual launch today, and I would like you to please invite your friends. If you can copy whatever link brought you to this show today, kindly share with your friends, and let's have more people joining us. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, and those of you who are here, particularly on Zoom, kindly share the link. With my company here in the US, we sponsored a comedy event. And in my mind, I was just thinking maybe we'll have 200 people at the comedy event. Okay. I got to the venue only to see, at least I think 500 people, if I'm correct. And I was a bit shocked, at the turnout. It was huge at that particular comedy event last night. And I said to myself, why don't we turn up like this? The comedy event is just social, we laugh, and everybody go home. We even had to pay $10 for parking, right? So, but at the end of the day, it was just to laugh and you go home, and that's it. And yet the crowd was huge. When you then come to conversations that have real life implications, that has everything it takes to change your life forever, you then see that we don't even show up. They are not mainstream. We don't share. If it's gossip, we're excited to share gossip, right? Did you hear what happened? Did you hear that this happened? We're excited to share gossip. We're excited to share bad news. And these are things that don't have any bearing whatsoever. But when you then come to conversations that will change our lives, unfortunately, we're laid back. So please, this is not one of them. Why did I write this book? I realized that the knowledge about building wealth when it comes to real estate is still not mainstream. Okay? People still don't understand how real estate wealth works till today. Right? How do they really build wealth? People still don't know till this moment. How do you strategize for wealth creation? People still don't know. How do you invest, for yourself? People still don't know. And hear me, this is about investment. This is not even how to be an agent. I'm shocked at how when I meet Nigerians, for example, here in Houston area, most Nigerians are property agents. But guess what? Most Nigerians are not property investors. Did you see the irony there? Let me say that again. Most Nigerians are property agents. Most Nigerians are not real estate investors. Two different things. As an agent, the maximum returns I will get for selling a property is 3% in the US, right? In other parts of the world, 10%. And I get the money, I spend it, I pay my house rent, I take care of my children, I buy a car. The money is gone. It's gone. But guess what? Most Africans, people of color, do not know about how to invest in real estate. The knowledge about real estate investment is rare. People can be an agent, and right away, I'm coming up with a new book on how to be a global real estate agent and broker. Okay, and we should be launching it in hopefully in another 30 days. But I realized that most of us haven't invested in understanding how to actually own the assets itself, how to be the owner, the right way to buy, the right way to sell, the strategy of raising funds when you're doing real estate. Are you aware that becoming a big real estate investor has nothing to do with how rich you are? If you're aware, type I'm aware. If you're not aware, type I'm not aware. Particularly in the US, it's a lot more difficult in Nigeria and Africa. People don't know it's a lot more difficult to grow your real estate business in Africa than it is in the Western world. A lot more difficult. It's a lot easier, okay? And it doesn't have to be your money in the Western world. No, for the starter, 70% of the money doesn't need to be yours to start with. That's even if you are not a green card holder, a resident. If you don't have Social Security, you will still get 70% mortgage. Now, hear this. If you are a green card holder, you have Social Security, you actually don't even need up to 30%. You can get investors to invest 85%, and you are just looking for 15%. And even the remaining 15%, how to raise that part is also part of what we have worked hard on helping people achieve. How many of you think this makes a lot of sense? Now, even outside of the US now, the UK, Canada is similar as well. There's mortgage system. But even in Africa, there are ways you go about negotiation when you're doing real estate deals that also help you to leverage on what we call OPM. Okay, can anybody type the meaning of OPM? What does OPM mean? If you know the meaning of OPM, can you just type what it means? OPM, other people's money. Okay, that's what it means, other people's money, OPM. And so even in Africa, where you don't even have all of that, it's important for you to know that you can still leverage on OPM to grow your wealth in those parts of the world as well. I see how people reach out to me nowadays, knowing that we're doing a $200 million real estate expansion in the US. And the mindset of most people is that this guy, he don't blow. He has so much money. And they have no idea that I don't have money. Everybody has gone into the deal. And there are people raising money, right? But unfortunately, because people don't understand that wealth is actually grown with other people's money by convincing people to say, I have a deal here. There's money to be made, right? And people and let everybody just get in on it and make sure you have something in it for everyone who invest. That's how wealth is created. But people always think that you are super rich because again, we don't understand the power of OPM. We don't understand the power of other people's money, right? So the assumption you are very wealthy, and this is what people like, even what's it called? Dangote know better. This is what Donald Trump knows better. This is what Elon Musk know better. Okay, people, for example, assume Elon Musk is as rich as he is because of his own money. No, that's why he's in the capital market. That's why he's raising funds. Okay, constantly raising funds. That's why when he had to buy Twitter, he's still, Mr. Barry, I don't know how the flyer will be. I don't have the slide. So you're telling me it's not there. I don't even have it. I'm in the group. They haven't posted the new they haven't posted the new stuff, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So it's important to know that, because our mindset as a people is before I do anything, it has to be cash. I must have the cash. And that's why we're not able to invest in real estate assets. So I'll give you a brief on some of the things we discussed in the book and how, knowing this can go a long way in making a difference. We took our time to talk about the cash flow quadrant. I'm not even going to talk about it today, as many of you know that. And that was very, very important. This is deep dive. I'm not going to go into that. So let's first of all review the Global Real Estate Investment Masterclass. So this today we're doing is a virtual launch. It's not a physical launch. I will soon share with you the flyer of the physical launch. We're going to be doing a physical launch that will, show in Lagos. We're doing a physical launch in Abuja, and we're doing a physical launch in Houston, Texas here. But in the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook, it's a handbook to just give you a guide. What is the book about? It's a guide for investors to navigate complexity of international real estate market, covering market analysis, investment strategy, legal framework, right? Author's purpose to empower readers' knowledge for the purpose of global investment. So here in this book, we looked at all market, African market, Asian market, Europe, and that's United Kingdom. We look at the United States as well. So this is global, right, in its structure. So understanding global market, overview of major real estate region, investment strategy, risk management, portfolio diversification, legal and regulatory insights. Because a lot of time we're doing real estate and we don't even consider the regulatory insights. I remember meeting a woman who had real estate asset here in the US. She had four income generating property before 2008 crisis, and she lost everything. And I remember asking her, I said, what knowledge did you have about, investing in real estate beyond just the acquisition, as at the time you were buying? And I realized that this woman bought 4 property just based on the fact that, she could do the mortgage without even understanding the deeper perspective to it. Because most of those who understand the deeper perspective to real estate, the 2008 crisis only made them bigger because they knew the market was still going to bounce back. They understood the cycle and how things work, and they were still able to bounce back way, way bigger. And that's really what we're talking about here. Now, structure of the real estate book. Part 1, fundamental of real estate investment. Part 2, regional market analysis. We look at Americas, Europe, Asia, Middle East, Africa. Then part 3, case studies of successful investments. Part 4, future trends of global real estate. So we looked at it in that detail. Strengths, comprehension, and well-researched. Real lifestyle cases to enhance practical understanding, focus on both developed and emerging market, clear and accessible language for all audience. So it's not ambiguous and something complex. Now, key takeaway from the book: importance of due diligence in international market, diversification, reducing risk in volatile global market. Staying informed on global economic trend is very crucial, right? So on this recommendation, real estate investors, financial advisors, market analysts, entrepreneurs exploring global property market. These are the people this book is for. Skill level, intermediate to advanced. So meaning even if you are new, you can still read this book and get some level of detail. So final thoughts, a must read for everyone serious about global real estate investment. Combine theory and practical, effectively. Combine theory and practice effectively. Okay, so that's that about the book. Read the book to elevate your investment strategy. Okay, so I'm going to stop here about the global real estate, investment handbook, and I'm going to take a few questions before I go to the second book. So I've just given you an overview about what we shared in the book. Of course, you didn't expect me to teach you what's in the book. I hope you didn't. Okay. The virtual launch is to kind of give you an idea of what the book is about. And the good news is that everyone here will get a copy today. I don't know if you're happy to know. All of you will get a virtual copy of this book today. Everyone. The physical copy isn't out yet, but the virtual copy is out, and you all will go home with a copy. Everybody. And our goal is not just us, our goal is 1 million downloads of the book. And I'll tell you, and I want every single one who is here today to be the tool for what we're trying to achieve. So I'll give you what is in my mind, why we wanted 1 million download. So I'm using all the proceeds, particularly the soft copy, and I'll tell you why. The soft copy doesn't come at a cost to us. By the time we start selling the physical copy, there's a cost implication, right? But the soft copy, we don't have any cost of printing, cost of logistics, right? We don't have all of that. So what we decided to do was, imagine we want to launch, we're working on a food bank, a food bank in Houston and in Lagos, Nigeria. What is a food bank? It's a place people can go to and they will be able to get food without paying a dime. Hungry families, widows, orphans, you come to the food bank, you will get food. You don't need to drop a dime. And I was praying to God as I was approaching 40 years of age, what will you have me give? Again, my conversation with God, unlike many people, is not what I want from God. It's what does God want from me? And this was what God placed in my heart to set up a food bank. And so, of course, I had to ask, how do I raise the funds? I mean, setting up a food bank in 2 years alone, if we own the property, we're looking at between $5 to $10 million, guys. Between $5 to $10 million. It's not easy, and you constantly run it. And the idea is that in 50 years from today, we will have fed over 1 billion people. Come on, everybody type 1 billion people globally. Who will have eaten from the food bank. We're starting with Lagos and Houston. Who knows? We can go beyond that, to end hunger. You will be shocked that even in America, 1 out of every 5 children, okay, is starving of food, is starving of hunger, is having an hunger issue in America. 1 out of 5 children in America. So when people heard Houston, some people are like, are you kidding me? I said, you have no idea that, because there's still distribution problem. There's high income inequality, and food is still a basic issue globally. But what was in my heart is, we can start, if we can raise $2 million, we can get started in both locations. Dedicate $1 million to Lagos, dedicate $1 million to Houston. We can start, even if it means we're renting the location or we're doing what we call lease to own, right? So the goal is that anybody who makes a minimum donation of $2, you can do 10, you can do 20, you can do 50, you can do whatever amount, right? We'll get a free copy of the book today. So we've calculated if we do $2 times 1 million download of the book, right? That gives us $2 million, right? So that was the idea. And that's why we want every one of you today, not just to download your copy, but to send the link of this Zoom meeting to every WhatsApp group, every Facebook group, everywhere you belong, to say, Dr. Stephen has two of his books, and can we create a WhatsApp group, please? And by the way, I want to ask, how many of you want to join the volunteer team to make this a reality? That is, you will do your best to push this agenda till the day we launch the food bank, right? And you'll be able to say, God, I thank you for playing a role, right? How many of you want to volunteer to make this? And that's why I said we didn't overhype this event, because I knew I was looking for people who are believers, right? People who are going to look beyond now, people who are going to work with me long term. We're going to post a WhatsApp group now. We'll give you the flyer of the book. We'll give you the link of the book. We'll give you the link of this video as well. And Mr. Barry, I need to get John up now. As soon as we're done with this presentation, you should cut this video, just the presentation itself, upload it on YouTube and put the link in the WhatsApp group. I also have we'll have a summary version as well, and we hit the ground running. So please create a WhatsApp group and post the link so we all can join. But that's the vision. That's what God laid in my heart that we should do. Do a food bank and just give back. So I said to myself, what do I have? Everybody wants to learn how to do real estate. Everybody wants to be as rich as I am. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give everything. I'm not hiding everything. In fact, the content of the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook, hear this, is the content we use for our $1,500 real estate training. If I had to shut down, we're no longer doing real estate investment masterclass in Nigeria because of this. We turn it to a book, right? So meaning for 5,000 naira, you can get something that the physical class, I think is 300,000 we charge in Nigeria, and it's 1,500 we charge in UK and US for the class. And like, I just will give it, right? How we raise funds, the various types of real estate you can do, what to look out for, how to structure yourself for it, how to start your own real estate business. How many of you are happy about this? Everything was shared in the Global Real Estate Handbook. Like, it's nothing I know about real estate that I hid from that. Okay, and plus research, plus, data, there's so much data that we added to the book. So much data. So if you have this book, you literally can land yourself in Canada and start your real estate business. You can land in London with this book if you read everything in it and start your real estate business, because we covered every single aspect. So for me, it's a case of give what you have, okay, and let's have some people donate, and then we can really make this. And it's part of what I shared in the Billionaire Habit book, isn't it? Win-win. Once you can create a win-win situation, we can always have a very successful one. Also, I will be needing a president of this movement, okay? This food bank. We will vote in the WhatsApp group, okay, for the chairman of the committee. How many of you are happy to hear this? We'll vote. So, I'm waiting for them to drop the link of the WhatsApp group. You can nominate yourself, put your CV, tell us the ideas you want to go about, making sure we raise at least the first $2 million in the next 90 days for this food bank so that we can start procurement, location we need, and all of that. Strategy to make sure we get 1 million people to download the book, okay, and so on and so forth. So you know, and I promise whoever emerge as the chairman of the committee and achieves the goal has a lifetime mentorship with me. Lifetime. Okay? A lifetime mentorship with me. In fact, because this is a very important project for me. It's my 40th birthday project. And like I said, it also has that sentimental feeling of I had God. And I don't know if you have heard me, a lot of Christians always brag, I had God. God told me, God told me. You will never hear that from me. Okay, for people who have known me for 10 years, this is probably the first time they will hear me say, God told me something. I don't do, and it doesn't mean I don't hear God. It doesn't mean God, but I don't just use the word, because I think people like to blackmail people with God told me, God, because once they say God told me, then what we mortal, can we tell you otherwise? Even my mentees, I always tell them, if you are coming to me for advice, don't use God told me, because once you say God, my advice is not needed anymore, because who am I to cancel you against what God told you, right? So I don't always use the word God told me, God said, God, no. But this one, I can assure, and God will not tell you, and I believe most of us agree with me, that God does not counsel you to give. I mean, Satan does not counsel you to give. Do you agree with me? Satan will not advise you to give to change the life of poor people, to provide food globally. Who agrees with me? Satan doesn't give such advice. Okay, so I can boldly say God told me, because I know there are certain things Satan won't tell you. Okay, Satan will not tell you go and change life of people, feed 1 billion people in the next 50 years, and things like that. So I'm super excited about this. Are we ready for the second book review? If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready. Or do we have question on this first book, about the book, or any question you have for the first book, so that I can then go to the second book and review the second book and why the second book?
Okay, please, you can type your questions on the Q&A session. We'll be glad to respond to them. Thank you.
Okay. Somebody say came in late. Well, if you join late, you can go watch it all over again. This video is already on YouTube. So once we're done, Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube, subscribe and you can watch what we've discussed so far. I'm aware that some people will probably be late because there was a mistake in the timing for certain region. Okay. So let's go for the second book. So the second book is the ABC of real estate investment in America. So the first one is global, while the second one is specifically tailored to America. So I started getting friends reaching out to me after we started our $200 million expansion in the US. In fact, somebody sent me a message. His message read, "Does we attend same church? We do the same business." That's his message. I'm even probably older than you. How come you are this successful? That's the person's question. So I sense a bit of jealousy in that, and I've gotten vibes like that from a few quarters. And I've decided, you know what? There's nothing, I will put it in plain sight. A white man has insulted us. If you want to hide a thing from a black man, put it in a book. I will put it in a book. Whoever can read it. Every step of what we are doing in America, how we're doing it, even with images of what we are doing. Okay, Yatunko. With price to guide and explain. Everything we put in the book. Since a lot of people want, in exchange, donate towards the food bank that we are starting. Okay, and so and that is very, very important to me. So it's called the ABC of America Real Estate Investment, a beginner's guide to real estate success in the US. Okay, and this is for a layman. You want to start real estate in the US, whether you're in UK, you're in Canada, or you're anywhere else. By the way, please, this work for the entire North America. We just decided to put America. So in other words, these same things in the book will work for you if you're in Canada, if you're in Mexico, and and all this, North America, right? We just didn't want to complicate it with North America, just ABC of America's real estate investment. So what is the book about? A foundational guide for individuals looking to understand and succeed in the US real estate market. Then what's the purpose? Simplifies real estate concept for beginners, offer practical tool for first-time investors. Okay, practical tool for first-time investors. Why this book? Focus on US market, one of the most dynamic in the world. Are you aware the US real estate market is the largest in the world? If you're aware, type I'm aware. If you're not aware, type I'm not aware. Come on, talk to me. Are you aware the US real estate market is the largest in the world? We're talking over 4 trillion, way over, right? Is the largest. So if you can understand how the US real estate market works, you understand how real estate should work anywhere else in the world, right? Even if you're not planning to do real estate in the US, it's good to understand the US market. I had to go to Harvard University for 2 years to study real estate investment in the US. Okay, because if once you get the blueprint for US, you can do it anywhere else. You can sort anything out. So practical advice for navigating the unique legal and financial landscape, tailored for both local and international investors. Right. So the book is good for those here in the US already, or those who are international and are trying to look at how do I invest in the US. I see people every day telling me, Stephen, I want to invest in the US, but I don't know how. I don't live in the US, but I want to invest. Can I even invest if I'm not a US resident? Some people don't know. Yes, the answer is yes, you can invest. You don't need to be a US citizen to invest in the US, right? So key theme, number one, foundational concept, real estate basics, property type, financing market trends. Number two, investment strategies, long-term and short-term investment. Number three, navigating the US market, legal, tax, regulatory considerations. Number four, building wealth through real estate, rental income, flipping properties, and equity growth. Right? So we went in depth from tax to regulation and other considerations. We looked at real wealth, looking at rental income. We looked at flipping. We looked at equity. We looked at raising funds through equity syndication and debt syndication. So how do you raise funds? Right? So you need 15%. I'm raising about $60 million, and I'm raising 200 million. I've gotten institutional investors who are going to give us the 140 million. So I'm only raising 60 million of that money, of that 200 million, right? So how do you structure to start raising such? And I'll share with you later today how some of you can. By the way, how many of you are interested? Let me even ask before I continue. In being part of you've heard about our current $200 million US expansion. How many of you have heard of it? Okay. Jumoke says, aside donating today, can we donate after today to the project? Yes, you can. You can. Even after today, you can still donate towards, I mean, it's a continuous, food bank is continuous. We keep relying on donations. for the food we'll be providing in those locations. So even if after we open it up, we open the food bank up and we start giving out food, we will constantly rely. That's why we needed to build a team around it. We'll constantly rely on money to buy food to give people, right? So it's going to be heavily intensive. Okay, so how many of you have heard about our current $200 million expansion in the US? If you have heard of it, please type I've heard of it. If you have not, just type I've not heard of it. I just want to even know whether some of you are aware of our $200 million expansion in the real estate market in the US. I'm not talking about what we do in Dubai or Nigeria, just US alone. Okay, so I can see some of you are aware, some of you are not aware. Wow, some people are not aware, funny enough. Okay, my next question is, how many of you would like to invest in our US project? How many of you would like to put your money into it? Right, it's a minimum of $10,000. And I think, in fact, Monday is the last day for some of the bonuses we've given, some incentives we're giving and all of that. Monday is the last day. But how many of you are interested in investing in what we're doing in the US? You want to put your money into the $200 million expansion we're doing in the US. How many of you would like to be part of it? Just type me. Okay, let me see. How many of you would like to be part of that? Oh, okay. I can see Mohammed Sani from Cameroon. How are you? Okay, so I can see a lot of you are interested. Okay, well, remind me in case I forget once I'm done to talk to you more about it, about what we're doing in the US, how many of you can be part of it. Monday is the last day for some of the amazing bonuses we're giving. The minimum requirement is 20,000. We reduce it to 10,000. We also we're giving some bonuses beyond what is on the timetable, and it ends on Monday. So I'll share more about that. Afolabi says, I'm interested, but I just got a job in Angola, but lives in Nigeria. That doesn't affect investing in US, right? Most of our investors, you will be shocked, they're in Canada, they're in UK, they're in Nigeria, right? So you don't need to be in the US to be able to invest in the US. And wherever you are in the world, we've structured so that will give you a return back to you. So everyone can invest from anywhere in the world. So back to the book, ABC of American Real Estate Investment. So what is the structure of the book? Part 1, understanding real estate basics. Right, it's always good to understand the basics of real estate, how it works. What are the basic fundamentals? I love fundamentals. Part 2 of the book explore US property types: residential, commercial, and industrial. Okay. A lot of time people just think residential is only real estate. Meanwhile, there are more juicy opportunities in commercial and industrial real estate than residential. Every time we all just talk residential. There's so much opportunity in commercial and industrial. Part 3, building a successful investment plan. Right? Like I said, we have to sit down. So, okay, these projects we're trying to do for phase 1. By the way, we're doing over $1 billion expansion in the US. But we said phase 1, let's do 200 million, phase 1. Okay, how do we raise the money for phase 1? How do we give everybody their money back? What is the structure that guarantees we will make the money back and we'll be able to give everybody we invest? All that we needed to plan. So in the book, in part 3, we're giving you the blueprint of how you plan, how you plan a real estate investment in the US. How do you plan? How do you pay your investors? How do you raise money? And then part 4, case studies and success stories, right? Testimonies are powerful. When you hear others who have done it, their background, and how they've been able to really achieve something for themselves, it encourages you to know that you can do the same for yourself, right? You can replicate the same thing for yourself. How many of you think this is a good book? Okay, come on, talk to me. If you think it's a good book from what you're hearing, type, this is good. The structure of the book. How many of you like the structure? Part 1, understanding the basics. We went just basic of investing in the US. Part 2, we focus on the property types. Part 3, we focus on the funding, but bottom line, funding and making sure everybody is paid at the end of the day. Part 4, we looked at case studies of those who've done it, have made money, and so you're encouraged. Okay, I can see a lot of you like it. Okay, so what's the strength of the book? Easy to understand language for beginners, comprehensive coverage of US real estate dynamics, practical example and checklist for actionable steps, focus on wealth building strategies. Are you glad? Good news. Are you glad that all this book also have a workbook? Am I correct, Mr. Barry? Mr. Barry, is Mr. Barry there? Or his network is frozen? Right. Mr. Barry, are you there? You need to unmute yourself. Okay, any member of the team, please confirm. We have a workbook for this. So what that means is that we structure the book in a way that you can work your way in the book almost like you are studying, for an exam. It's structured with a workbook that kind of help to even strengthen the understanding as you go through the book. Okay, can somebody help me get Mr. Barry to confirm that the workbook is ready? So I'm super excited about that. I think this is the first time we're having a book that has a workbook, right? So you're reading the book, but you're also having, like a quiz around it that tags you and help you to remember. Mr. Barry, welcome back. Can you confirm that the workbook is ready for each of the book? Can you confirm that? Okay. Any member of the team, can they just chat Mr. Barry? Don't know what's wrong with his network. You can type your answer. I'm not sure I can hear. So key takeaway, understanding market cycle.
Yeah, the workbook was.
Yeah, okay, I'll get the answer. Understanding market cycle is crucial for timely investment. Okay, or crucial for timing investments. Location is a key determinant of property value. Leverage and financing can amplify returns, but requires careful management. Real estate is a long-term wealth building tool. So these are some of the key takeaways. Number one, understanding market dynamics, and timing. Location, leverage. Leverage is key in real estate, ladies and gentlemen, and also understanding the long-term nature of real estate investment. So all that. So the audience, first-time real estate investors, individuals exploring the US market, investors who want to invest in US real estate market. Final thoughts, a valuable source for anyone stepping into the US real estate market. This is a must. Read the ABC of America's real estate investment to kickstart your real estate journey today. Okay, are we happy about this? Mr. Barry, are you back?
Yes, okay. Sorry, I had network. Yes, so the workbook and practice questions are all embedded in the main book.
Beautiful.
So as they read, they do practice questions. They also do feedback on each of the chapters.
Wow, beautiful. Come on, guys, can we clap about this? Are we really, really excited about this? So this is really good. This is really, really good. So the good news is like I said, every proceed from this book, particularly the soft copy. Why am I saying particularly the soft copy? For the hard copy, we have to remove cost of printing the book, cost of logistics, for the soft copy, all proceed goes towards food bank in Lagos, Nigeria, and in Houston. If you're excited, come on, clap, everybody. Let me clap if you're excited about this. So what we've done is to automate the process. What we've done is to automate the process. Once you visit pay.gtesglobal.com/SAFFD, okay, pay.gtesglobal.com/F. By the way, why are you using GTES Global? Why not Selectia Foundation? Mr. Barry, these are things you should have taken note of.
Okay, sir. Well, we can correct that, sir.
Okay, but for today, pay.gtesglobal.com/SA Foundation. That the SA stands for Selectia Foundation, so SAFFD. And I would love if they can, re-edit this. It's selectiafoundation.com/Mercy, right? Mercy book.
Okay.
Mercy books. Okay, yeah. selectiafoundation.com/Mercy books. So people know that, or Mercy Food Bank, yes. selectiafoundation.com/Mercy Food Bank. I think that's a better way to put it.
Okay. That will be done and adjusted and sent to the platform.
Good. Have we posted the link to the platform now?
Yes, I've told my team to do that and post it now. Let me just confirm that it's done.
Everybody, I want you to confirm, have you gotten the link to the WhatsApp group now? The WhatsApp group. No. Somebody's posting the wrong link. Can the admin post the right link into the chat box? For those, so 2 links has not been done, Mr. Barry. The link to the WhatsApp group has not been put. The link to getting the book right now, because all of you can get the book right now. We need them to post it on YouTube, Facebook, here on Zoom. So we need everybody to get to work. Where are the SA team, please? Right, Jamie, are you there? So we need to post the WhatsApp group link on here on Zoom, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on all platforms we're streaming. We also need to post the link for people who want to get the book right now. How many of you are getting the book right now? So once you make a donation of minimum $2, you will be able to download the book immediately. In fact, we did it in such a way that once you make the donation, it redirect you to download the book. Then the book is also sent to your email. Please take note that some of you, the book may go to your spam. So check your spam box. But we've done 2 ways. So once you click this link, you'll be able to just immediately make your donation, then immediately download the book. But we also did it in such a way that it doubles for in terms of it doubles to be able to help you in a big way by, you're just able to immediately move to the downloading of the book. Okay, so the group has been created. If they can make me an admin, I will appreciate.
Okay, sir.
Then where is the link for those who want to buy the book right now?
Jamie, please put that link in there now. Link for the book purchase. Thank you, Jamie.
Okay. Okay. So I want to post, can we post the link for those who are on Facebook? So those of you on Facebook, those joining on Twitter, those joining on YouTube, we're trying to post the link. So wherever you're joining from, you can join the WhatsApp group. And we intend to, make sure that we keep growing the group, and keep growing the group. If one group gets filled up, we'll create a new group. And we have a massive army of volunteers who are working with us to make sure this becomes a success story. So all of you, I've heard people want to, one of my mentees came and said, I'm gathering all our your mentees. We want to buy you a car for your 40th birthday. I said, what's in my heart is not, I don't need anybody's car. I don't need anybody's, all I need is, all I need is to make this food bank a reality, right? Donation towards this food bank and making it a reality is the most important thing to me right now. Okay, it's the most important thing to me right now. So please, let's play a role in making this happen. Can we post the link as well, the link to buying the book right now on Facebook, on WhatsApp? I want to see it across all the groups. And can we also all have it so that we can share it with our friends and say, hey, get this latest amazing book from Dr. Stephen, and all you need to do is make a donation, and we are good to go. Okay. So where is the third flyer on the day for the what's it called, the book launching? Where
Yes,
is
sir.
that?
I think it's on the slide here, sir. You can scroll up a bit.
I have just two. It's not on this. Which slide?
On the slide.
It can't be on this slide because I'm not using a Google link for my slide, right? So it definitely can be, but I'm even asking for I'm even asking for the one of Houston, right? I'm even asking for the one of Houston. I can see in the group the one for Abuja. For Houston, they don't need to put the venue. They just can put my number for how people can apply to come. But they can put the date. It's an end of the year party. It's even supposed to be branded differently. It's end of the year party and book launch, all mixed together. Okay, so I want to find out how many of you have been able to get the book now, just to be sure we have all sorted. Someone say, can I donate by depositing money? I knew this question was going to happen. Remember, Mr. Barry, I talked about them putting the account number as well.
Okay, we can put in our account number right away, so you can pay into that account.
Where is
straight.
the missions account number? I love things being separately done because I raised the question in the group and wanted to know where Joshua was. You needed to put a call to him. Okay, so in the group, because I just don't want numbers flying up and down. So join the WhatsApp group. Somebody's asking for Zelle. Okay, you know what? Join the WhatsApp group and ask all these questions, and we will do our best to provide these things in the WhatsApp group. So whether you want to use Zelle, whether you want to use whatever option you prefer, kindly join the WhatsApp group. Can we post the link to the WhatsApp group again so everybody
Okay.
has? Sure, everybody
Okay.
has.
Okay.
Okay, I want to thank. I can see. By the way, how many of you have been able to get it? To be sure the thing works well, how many of you have made the donation and you're able to download the book? I just want to be sure it works well. Anyone? You're able to make your donation and you're able to download the book. Okay, Adela Jatai will say, yes, I've gotten the book. Thank you. Wow, I'm happy that it works well. because all these tech things, you can just do it and you think everything is working perfectly, and you'll be shocked that it doesn't work the way you want. Taufik says the site is not opening. I doubt that. Taufik, the link is again posted here. Use another browser, because Adela just said he was able to do it. So, I'm sure maybe it's your, hosting or something. Okay. So, or you can scan the QR code. Adela, Taufik, you can scan the QR code, and we're good to go. So, good news. Tomorrow, Samuel also said he has gotten the book now. Thank you. Please, if you have made your donation and you've gotten the book, let me know. I want to be sure this thing works well. I can see Olajumoke made a $10 donation. She did more than $2. Thank you. Dayo did $5 instead of $2. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've seen a lot of you
Thank you.
who chose to go above and beyond. More people did the normal. Thank you for that as well. But some of you went above and beyond. Thank you. Obaka Josiah Musa says site not opening. So for those of you seeing site not opening, do me a favor, change the browser or scan this QR code, right? In other words, to scan the QR code, just use your phone, go to the camera of your phone, then bring it closer to this QR code that you're seeing here. And that might work if you use that model, right? So if you use that model, it might work. I'm sure that model will work better for you. But hey, tomorrow, Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, is voting day. So, Mr. Barry, if you can do a flyer for it, voting day, so we can put it the time. You will moderate the process, Mr. Barry. Yes, the voting day. Okay, so you will moderate the process. The voting day.
Can you give me some more clue? Voting day is all about
to pick the chairman of the committee.
Okay.
Right. So what we need, basically, people can do 1 minute or 2 minute video who they are. They can also post their profile or manifesto. Right. We need a chairman to I want the volunteers to own this. I don't want this to be a GTExt employee or Civic employee project. I want it to be project owned by mentees, people who learn from me, who have gotten value from me, and things like that. Somebody's asking for the link for the WhatsApp group. So keep posting the link every 5 minutes. So let's do a bank of time. We're going to be doing the voting so that people who want to vote, who think they can lead every volunteer, because we need to leverage on all the volunteers, and we all go to war practically to raise $2 million for this project. And I need a head of the committee who is not a staff, who believe in this vision, and will work with our team, our staff, to make this a reality. So the person must show that they have leadership skills, they've led projects before, they've been able to galvanize team and push teams for success. So if Olabode is there, can do a banner, give him the time now, because I need a flyer. I want to push it as well. We're voting for the chair of the committee for the food bank. So it keeps track of donation, help us to motivate everybody towards donation, see to it that this becomes a reality. Yes. Okay. Let's go on. How many of you, like I said, wants to hear a bit more about our $200 million US project? If you want to hear about that, can you type I'm interested. I'll just briefly talk about that, then come back again to, give a recap on the book. Okay. Okay, so I can say a few, not few, a lot of us want to hear. Okay, thank you for that. So what we've done, and I shared in the book how you can do things like this, is to come up with a syndication. We currently are doing a $200 million expansion of our assets in the US. So the first project is our office. We currently have a 2-story office in Katy, Texas. You can come visit any day, anytime. But the property comes with a massive land. And we're then on the land doing a 6-story office space. The first floor, 2 floors, car parks, and then the remaining, floors are office complex, right? And this is like a prototype design of how it's going to look like. This like internal, so some part of it, people are renting it for their offices and we're generating cash flow. Some part of it, we're using it as what we call office hub, where small businesses can use the boardroom and rent it. These are some of the designs of office, how it's going to look like, okay, when it's fully ready. But it's a beautiful designs people have come up with. Now, the second project is at Tidwell. Tidwell is 15 minutes from the Bush International Airport, 12 minutes from downtown Texas. Let me play the video so you can see. Okay. Now, how many of you think that's a cool one? If you like it, please let me know. So these are images of how that is 24 units. Yes, 24 units of 2-bedroom. Okay, and so that's the design for that. Now, the goal for this is not to sell it. And can anybody guess why we don't want to sell this? So we're not building it so we sell it. Can anybody guess why? I just want to know. Can anybody guess why we don't intend to sell this? Let me see your chat box. Cash flow. Jumoke says cash flow. Thank you, everybody. They said it's lovely. You all like the design. Stephen Abimbola says for passive income. Yes, so for this particular one, we're not selling it. The goal is to keep it. We're going to be generating cash flow for this for the next, by the grace of God, for the next 10 years. Mr. Barry, does
Yes, sir.
Stephen Akintayo Foundation not have a website? I don't want Stephen Akintayo's site. I want Stephen Akintayo Foundation. It has a
Okay,
website.
it has a website.
So let's put it on that website, please. It's always to separate everything and just things go to what they are meant for.
Okay.
Okay, so very, very important for me was that this location is going to be one of the best locations for us. And I knew that we don't want to rush and just sell it. We want to keep it for 10 years and just get cash flow. And it's 10 years later, we're now going to sell it. By that time, I mean, this is close to airport, close to downtown. We will be able to get way more returns on it, right? Then the number 3 project is Jasper Estate, Brookshire. The way we are doing it is we have commercial region of the land, we have residential region, and then we have a portion where just selling land. And you can buy 1 acre land from us. You can buy 1 plot land from us. If you're buying 1 plot, we're merging you with 6 or 5 other people. So, and the document will come in the name of 5, 6 of you or so. Or you just buy 1 acre to yourself. But you can also invest. This is what we're trusting God this place will look like by the year 2030. It's a long-term project. People are free to just buy land, or you even have land for commercial region of the estate. We have land for the residential region. But we're only selling land for the residential region for now, not the commercial region. So that's the project. Currently, the price point is now supposed to be $270,000 per acre, but we're giving 9 people opportunity to pay just $150,000 instead of $270,000. But that offer ends on Monday. So if you really, really want to buy this, you have to key in. And we're giving 1 year to spread the $150,000. Just need to make a deposit now, and you spread the $150,000 in 1 year. So this is still the picture of how it looks like. You have a lake, you have a river at the back, and then this is the land we're selling. You can see even the land is facing the golf course and still facing a river. So that is that for the project. We'll just give you a different angle of how it looks like. Let me play this video. Okay. So how many of you think that's awesome? This project alone is 150, $150 million. This is the biggest of the projects, actually. Then we have Jasper Park Clothing. This, you can buy land as low as $120,000 per plot. It's already apportioned, so you buy your plot. It already has a horizontal permit. You buy your plot and then you build your house, or you can pay so that we build the house for you. $375,000, and all you need to do is pay 30% upfront and spread the balance. For the housing, we have a mortgage structure. You pay 30% of the money, and even the 30% you can spread it in 12 months, and in 30 years you can spread the rest in mortgage, right? So let's see if we have video for this. So this is how the clothing one looks like. Okay. So that's that for that. And then let me see. So those are projects, but we've done something unique where you can make an investment of just $20,000, and then you get returns every year. Okay, every year. And what we've done is to then reduce it to, you cannot do as low as $10,000. And so we give returns every 18 months. So if you do 10,000, that gives you 10% every 18 months. If you're doing up to 20,000, 12%. But what we've done is to give between 2 to 6% extra bonus for those who are investing between now and Monday. It started over a month ago. So Monday is the last day for you to get extra. In other words, instead of getting 10% for your 10,000, you will now be getting 12%. Instead of getting 12% for 20,000, you will now be getting 14%. Instead of getting 13% for 30,000, you will now be getting 16%, right? And then instead of getting 15% for your 50,000, you now be getting 17%. Now for 100,000, the bonus is 4. So instead of getting 18% for 100,000 investment, you will now be getting what? 22%. Now for 200,000, instead of getting 19%, you'll be getting 23%. While for those doing 500,000 and 1 million, we're giving you 6% extra. So instead of getting 22%, you'll be getting 28% in 18 months. And then instead of getting 25% for $1 million investment, you will be getting, guess what, 31%, guys, in 18 months. You have to leave your capital with us for 3 years or for 6 years, because that's when we're using the money to do these constructions. So that is what we're raising money for, this project. the Office one, the Tidwell one, the Brookshire one, and the Claudine Richmond one. Okay. So once again, thank everyone for being part of today's class. Have you learned something? I have all these other books. If you're interested, just go to store.stevenakintayo.com. You can buy them. And then we have the Steve Akintayo University. You can be part of it as well and take advantage of the university. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll take questions. Yeah. We'll take questions now. Okay, let's take questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Please, can we give Dr. Stephen a very, very resounding clap for a wonderful presentation? Thank you very much, sir. So Dr. Stephen is available to ask to get your questions. You have questions, can you please type them on the Q&A session, or you type them on the chat box. We'll be able to see them and then respond. So question time, please ask your questions in any area you have some doubt and you need clarification. Please type your questions. Okay, we are seeing a lot of thank you to Doctor for adding value. Thank you so much for giving us value. Thank you so much, sir. I've seen a lot of thank you to Doctor. Okay, someone said I've succeeded in getting the books. Okay, that's good. Thanks for the presentation. All right, so please let's ask questions in the area of investments, on how to get the food bank project started, on how to expand the reach for the donation for the food bank. Please, you can ask questions and we'll be glad to respond. Doctor will be glad to respond. Okay, somebody is saying, how do I get a virtual book download? Okay, there's a payment app, a payment link. We will send that to you right away. So you click on that payment link and then you get the options to. So I've done that right away on the chat. So please click on that. Payments.
Okay, somebody is asking they want to invest in the US project, right? So what you can do is send me a direct message on WhatsApp and I'll link you up with the staff. We'll give you all the details. +1 443 790 3925. Ratio is a WhatsApp chat only. Okay, again, +1 443 790 3925. Okay, +1 443 790 3925. Now, please, food bank will begin with what state? Lagos. We're doing Lagos and Houston, Texas. That's where we're starting. We're opening. The goal is to own the place, even if it means we do lease to own. So we're going to be getting a warehouse, buy it. That's the plan. If you can buy a warehouse in Nigeria, same thing here in Houston, we can buy. But we're conscious of whatever donation comes in. If we're not able to have enough to buy, we might just rent and start. Okay, we rent and we start, and then we see how it goes from there. That's what we have in mind. Okay, any more question?
Yeah, someone is asking for the link for the book, so I want to reshare it again. Link to download the book. I want to reshare it again, so you can click on this link to download the book.
So the concept, for those of you asking for the book, the concept is simple. You make a donation through the link that has been given. And once you make that donation, it automatically gives you the book. That's also why the transfer option we don't want, because the transfer option forces us to now be manually, right, sending the book to you. But the current model we have automates that process. right? The current structure we have helps us to be able to automate that process. So means that once you visit this website, stephenakintayo.com/food bank, and you make your donation, it automatically redirects you to where to download the book. Right now, what you can also do is check your inbox. If it didn't redirect you to download the book, check your spam box or your inbox. The book is supposed to automatically also be there. Okay, so check your spam box, then join the group, because if you are in the group, it also helps.
Yeah, let me reshare the WhatsApp group again. So I'm resharing the WhatsApp group again, so you can join the WhatsApp group as well. So this is the WhatsApp group. So please click on this. So please click on this link, and then you can join the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Okay, so do we have any more questions for Dr. Stephen? Any further questions for Dr. Stephen? We are still receiving lots of accolades from Dr. Stephen. Thank you very much for pouring them in. Thank you so much for the accolades. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate that a whole lot. Okay, any more questions? Any areas you need clarification? Okay, what's something you learned? Okay, yes. Someone is asking, what is something you learned from the USA? I didn't get that. Let me get that again. What's something you learned about the US real estate market that helped you most in developing real estate in Nigeria?
Something I learned is, first of all, is the funding. Unfortunately, we don't have that in Nigeria. Is that the US real estate market is structured so that the funding is very exciting. And that has helped them to grow. So I learned that as well, structuring the deal. But I won't tell you, I started in Nigeria before US, so I already figured out the African version of the investment. I only just learned the US for the US. Okay, and that's why the first book, the global book, it covers both Africa, right? Because US will not teach you how to invest in Africa. They will only teach you how to invest in the US. It's part of the problem we face with even our political leaders. Many of our political leaders were trained in the US, and Nigeria or Ghana is not US. So the conditions to make things work the way it works in the US is not there. So it's frustrating for many when they come back because they can't replicate the same. So unfortunately, that's just the unfortunate part of things. Somebody else
is asking, yes, can the US investment be made in next 3 months or more, please?
You have to make a deposit now. You can spread in 12 months. So all we're doing is an opportunity for you to spread in 12 months. We can't keep slots for people. And we can't be stagnated that 3 months from now, we're still trying to raise funds for the same project. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury. Projects, 1, 2 months, you raise the funds, you move on to the next. And it gets tougher, as we go on the, entry level get stronger because you gradually will not need people's money as you grow in the US. In the next, few years, we're going to be more stricter because we have alternatives, right, to funding. We're doing this because we are still new, so we need to contribute our own portion. and we decide to go through syndication. Okay, all these investors, mentees we have all over the world, let them be part of it, and we share the money together. Well, there are cheaper way I can get money in the next 3 years of me being in the US. That will be cheaper than the returns I'm having to give mentees. So at that point, even if mentees want to come, they will have to get lesser returns. Okay, because I'm able to get funds at a cheaper price, because I'm now, once you've done tax returns 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's easy to access funds more in America. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir. Somebody is asking,
we need to
Mr.
make
Ibrahim
so
Shuaibu.
let him chat up on WhatsApp +1
Okay, okay.
+1 okay +1 443 790 3925 WhatsApp chat. Okay, WhatsApp chat. Yeah, I think some questions are in the chat box, Mr. Barry. You've not read them.
Oh, okay. I'm on the chat box actually. But someone is asking the link to join the mentee group. We will send that link to you right now.
No, I'm asking the Q&A.
Okay. Okay, let me go there.
So somebody said, DSA, please, do
Okay.
you have UK version of that US project? You can invest in a US project even if you live in the UK. There's no difference. In fact, UK is not as friendly as US. A lot of people have been asking, we do project in the UK, but they are not as large as US because you pay more in taxes. So a lot of you don't know that we have more money to share with you in a US deal than we can share with you in a UK deal. You don't need to be in US to invest. All our investors, we have more investors in the UK who invest in our US project than those in the US. More from Canada than those in the US, because a lot of people in the US are not even that financially stable. They don't have as much disposable income. And they're just only thinking of their own house. So they've already done their mortgage, they're just thinking of paying their bills, not investment. So you can be part of this even if you live in the UK, and we'll still send your returns to you in the UK. We have several investors with us. We paid over $1 million to investors. They don't even live in Nigeria. I've never seen them. Right? Oluwatobi Afolabi says, I want to invest in the US investment. Can I invest in next? Okay, we've answered you. Okay, so I think we've answered the question, except you have any.
Yeah.
Is it possible to sell real estate properties without being in contact with the property? How do I build trust and get network? Well, you have to do what we call social capital. I have a book coming up on how to be a real estate agent. But I will say social capital is very important. You must, and read the book. These are some of the things we talked about in the book, actually. Okay, so we answer some of these questions in the book. Thank you for the presentation. What's something? Okay, we've answered this. Okay, thank you. God bless you all. Mr.
Thank
Barry,
you very much, Dr. Steven.
please
We appreciate
post
it so
the
much.
link again. Can you mention the link again?
Okay.
Both WhatsApp link and the link to buy the book. Also, is there a way we can do that on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, posting it there? And then if Jamil has the link on a flyer, let him just share his link and keep it there even after we're gone for a few minutes so that others can still just pick the link. Particularly those watching on YouTube, Facebook, because we can't call the link. So Jamil or IT, take over control and share the URL for buying the book or making donation and getting the book. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you for your wonderful presentation. Okay, so thank you everyone for being part of this book launch and fundraising for the food bank projects in Houston, Texas, and Lagos, Nigeria. I'm sure from your expressions, you've gotten much value from today's presentation and meeting with Dr. Stephen Akintayo, Chairman of GTEX Holdings, founder Stephen Akintayo Foundation. We're going to send you more details on how you can donate and download the e-copy of the book. So it's going on the chat right away. Mr. Jamil, please, you can also share if there's a more comprehensive way we can get across this link to those who are watching via YouTube, those who are watching via Facebook. They can also make their donations and then download the book as well. That would be very, very good. Okay, more importantly, again, is we are going to be having another meeting tomorrow. So please, I ensure that you join the WhatsApp group right away, so we can have a vote on who will be the chairperson for the project, the food bank fundraising project. And then we're going to discuss how we're going to raise funds to start the project right away. All right, so that is very important to Dr. Stephen, and I'm sure that all of us will want to be part of this very great project that will really impact on billions of lives in a few years from now. All right, so thank you very much, everyone, for taking part in this book launch fundraising event. We appreciate your time, we appreciate your donations, we appreciate your contributions, and we look forward to more of this. So please do us a favor. The link in which you used in joining this program, can you please share it across all your personal social media platforms, your communities, your groups that you belong, share it in there so that others can also be part of it. And then also share the payment link for people to donate and download the book across all your personal social media platforms, your professional platforms, your church platforms, your mosque platforms, and whatever platforms you belong to. So we can spread out this good news and this word to as many people as we can within and outside our immediate reach. Okay, so we'll come to the end of this program and this book launch. And on behalf of Dr. Stephen and the Stephen Akintayo Foundation and the GTEX group, we want to say a very big thank you to you for being part of this program. And we look forward to continuing our conversation on the WhatsApp group. So please ensure that you have clicked on the WhatsApp group and then you have joined. Is anybody still on the call who hasn't joined the WhatsApp group? Can I see, if you have joined the WhatsApp group, can you please give me a thumbs up? If you have clicked on the WhatsApp group and you have joined, can you please give me a thumbs up to show that you have joined the WhatsApp group? I want to ensure that right away. Thank you so much for that. So don't forget that we're going to be voting tomorrow to get a chairperson to run the food bank project right in Eastern and Lagos. And the chairperson that will be appointed by vote must have very good leadership qualities, must be able to manage a team to deliver on timeline projects, and must be able to drive the team to raise funds for us to kickstart this food bank project. That is very important. So details of when the meeting will be holding tomorrow will be put on the platform so that we can start the voting process immediately. So if you are willing and then you know you have what it takes to deliver on a project like this, please volunteer by submitting your name and details on the WhatsApp group, and then we collect the names of volunteers and then we put it to a vote. Okay, so the highest of votes, we see who will become the chairman or chairperson once again. All right. So we want to allow you go rest and do other things, as we call it, off for today. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now. So, Mr. Jamil, you can play our closing. You can play some more of the book review projects, food bank projects, as we round off this session. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful time. For you in Nigeria, have a good night. Other parts of the world, have a good afternoon or a good evening, as the case may be. All right, then. Thanks.